Hello and welcome everyone to another Roman Reacts. We're here today to watch another video. This one is going to come out a little later than I was planning, but I just had a bunch of stuff working the other night, got home late, couldn't focus on which video I wanted to do. So this is a bit of a makeup one, I guess you can say. But yes, we are watching another video from Fat Electrician. And working video is going to be A1 Skyraider trolls the enemy with a toilet bomb, quote unquote, and the kitchen sink, quote unquote. So we're going to be figuring out what the heck this is all about, figure out this little fun story, and yeah, just enjoy ourselves, okay? So without further ado, let's just dive on in, okay? All right, that's all good and everything's set. So everything in the kitchen sink. I'm kind of curious since I saw this, I was like, wait, why is this talking about a kitchen sink? So yeah, let's just dive on in and have some fun. Here we go.
Today we're talking about the most versatile airplane of all time, capable of doing reconnaissance, delivering nuclear warheads, and everything in between. It is the only plane to literally hit the enemy with the kitchen sink, and the direct forefather of the A10 Warthog. Ladies and gentlemen, the A1 Skyraider.
Okay. Looks cool.
Alright, here's what you need to know. This plane is the epitome of old man strength. Coming into service in 1946, well into the era of jet-propelled aircraft, it still had a propeller, meaning that most people thought that it was obsolete before it ever even left the assembly line. But what those people didn't take into consideration is this wasn't just any prop engine. This was a Wright R3350 duplex Cyclone engine running on 18 cylinders and cranking out 3,700 horsepower.
Wow.
Very nice.
This enormous engine is the same engine from the B-29 Super Fortress, and they stuck it inside of an attack plane so small that it could land and take off from an aircraft carrier. This thing is the Wright brothers equivalent of a crotch rocket. The Skyraider is so powerful that it can carry 17,000 pounds worth of bombs, despite the fact that the plane itself only weighs 11,000 pounds. To put that into perspective, that is more ordnance than the B-17 could carry at the time. Or we could even compare it to the world heavyweight champion, the B-52, aka Buffy the Forehead Slayer, that's world-renowned for its ability to carry a bunch of bad guy to baloney mist technology on board. The Buff carries about 70,000 pounds worth of ordnance, but it weighs 183,000 pounds.
And I watched some HLC. I know what I've seen the Buff a few times, so that's just really cool.
Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that the Skyraider might be the pound-for-pound champion when it comes to putting warheads on foreheads. And here's the kicker with that, that's not even its whole job. It could do literally everything else. This plane was so versatile that there were over 30 different variants. It's done everything from low-level reconnaissance to close air support to electronic warfare to even being capable of delivering nuclear warheads from a carrier. And none of that's even the scariest part of this aircraft. The scariest part is the pilots. This aircraft went into service in 1946 and stayed in service until the 1980s. I'm going to say that again, but slower. This is a combat aircraft running on a propeller in the 1980s, earning it nicknames like the Flying Anachronism or the Super Spad, which is a reference to the biplane from World War I. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you, you have to be a special flavor of badass to look at all the existing aircrafts at America's disposal in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, like the SR-71, the F-14, the F-15, the F-18. All of those were available. And they're like, nah, give me the one with the propeller. I'm gonna do this shit on hardcore mode. And boy, did they. Here's the thing, this wasn't like a cargo plane or some other type of specialty plane with a very particular job. No, this was an attack plane that was going to be flying low and slow, close air support in the era of jets. It's a pretty good thing that the Skyraider has that big-ass engine, because I don't think many airframes could get off the ground carrying the sheer weight of these pilots' nuts. Not only did they have the courage to occupy the same airspace as these vastly superior fighter jets, they had the audacity to win anyways. During the Korean War, the enemy started referring to the Skyraider simply as the blue one. Okay, stop. Do you know how much ass you have to whoop before an entire group of people starts associating a color with a bad time? I mean, you literally have to hit the enemy with the kitchen sink to pull that off. Yeah, they did this. In August of 1952, they ratchet strapped the kitchen sink onto a 1,000-pound bomb before dropping it in combat. And I'm just gonna level with you, it only gets more ridiculous from here. Fast forward to the Vietnam War, Skyraiders were credited with downing MiG-17 fighter jets with their guns. They shot down vastly superior fighter jets with their machine guns in combat. A seemingly impossible task, and then they did it twice.
It's not the plane, it's the pilot.
And on the off chance that that wasn't ridiculous enough, in November of 1965, to commemorate the 6 millionth pound of ordnance dropped during the Vietnam War, the Skyraiders would rig up a specialty toilet to drop on the enemy. You can't make this up. I love it so much because the Skyraider is the A10 Warthog's dad, and this is the ultimate dad joke. It's literally trying to flush out communism. In conclusion, the Skyraider is the ultimate underdog story. An airplane that was considered to be obsolete before it ever even left the assembly line would go on to become one of the most versatile aircrafts of all time. Pound for pound, capable of delivering more warheads on more foreheads than the B-52, and so dominant in combat that it literally made the enemies fear the color blue. Oh my god, I'm rhyming. Anyways, it's also the only aircraft to literally hit the enemy with the kitchen sink, and then they had to one-up themselves and flush out communism with the toilet because that shit stinks. Anyways, thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
That's awesome. I did not know that. That's actually really cool. Especially during the Korean and Vietnam Wars. I'm just surprised. Like, seriously, to be that good of a pilot with that last piece of tech that allowed to use propeller planes to not only drop ordnance of a kitchen sink and a toilet on people, but also downing highly advanced MiGs. That was like a one-up from them. That's impressive in and of itself. Just the sheer dedication to these things, and the predecessor to the A10 Warthog, that is just even more crazy. So that's a fun little lore knowledge there. Just wow. And I gotta study up on more of these planes that like done some of these crazy things if I can. But yeah, anyway, that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a wonderful time. And I'll catch you in the next one, okay? So I know it's a short video today, but regardless, I do appreciate you guys hanging around and giving this a watch. So anyways, guys, take care. Romans, salute.
If you like Romans content and wish to see more, like and subscribe to continue to support the channel.